You will not believe what happened to me last week. Seriously, it's the kind of thing you think only happens in sitcoms or some wild internet story. Not to real people like me. But hey, here we are. Picture this. I come dragging myself home after one of those marathon days. You know, the kind where your feet feel like cinder blocks and your brain is basically running on fumes. All I wanted in that moment was to collapse on my couch, chip crumbs everywhere, maybe scroll through some mindless TV. But instead, I get to my garage, my own garage, mind you, and boom, there's a brand spanking new, shiny silver SUV just chilling in there. Not blocking the garage door, not halfway in by mistake, but fully, comfortably parked inside, like it had just signed a month-to-month lease. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, actually thought for a second, did I black out buy a car off Craigslist? Because that would at least explain it. Nope. There's this bright yellow sticky note plastered to the windshield, and it reads, "Oops, bad. HOA Karen." Yeah, you heard me right. HOA Karen, in all her self-appointed glory, apparently now thinks my garage is her personal parking space. This is the same woman who treats the HOA bylaws like her own personal Bible, except she's the only prophet, and everyone else is just out wrong. She once threatened to seize a neighbor's garden gnome. No joke, because it was dangerously whimsical. Her words, not mine. And if your grass isn't regulation height, she's out there with a tape measure at 6 a.m., judging you from the curb with the intensity of a Home Depot secret shopper. So I'm standing there, just stunned, holding my keys like maybe I could poke the situation and make it go away. But honestly, I didn't even feel mad at first. I just felt this overwhelming urge to do something memorable. Maybe even a little unhinged, but definitely unforgettable. The kind of payback that would leave a mark, you know what I mean? So instead of blowing up her phone or pounding on her door, I went creative. I dashed into the house and gathered every roll of gift wrap, packing tape, Christmas ribbon, even that random leftover Hanukkah paper. I mean, if you're going to do it, go big, right? Picture this. It's me, kneeling in the fluorescent glow of the garage, wrapping that massive SUV like it's the world's most confusing holiday present. I went full Jackson Pollock with neon stripes, glitter metallic blue bows, so much tape that NASA could use it to patch a rocket leak. Every surface, every window, everything but the license plate, I'm not a monster, absolutely smothered. For the finishing touch, a gigantic, fire engine red bow on the hood. By the time I was done, this SUV looked like something out of a fever dream, or maybe a kid's first attempt at modern art. Neighbors start wandering by, staring through the open garage door, their faces a mix of horror and delight. One guy straight up asks if it's a prize for a block party raffle. I just look at him, tape stuck to my eyebrow, and whisper it's art. At this point, I'm running on nothing but spite and adrenaline. I can't help but imagine the look on Karen's face when she sees her beloved SUV, now the Mona Lisa of petty revenge. But wait, how do you move a life-size Christmas present? Enter my buddy Phil, the guy you call when you need to move something you absolutely shouldn't be moving. We hitched the wrapped SUV to his truck, slide it out of my garage, and, slow-motion parade style, will it right up to the front doors of the HOA office, just as dusk settles in. Streetlights flickering, people pulling out their phones, a couple cars slow down, and there's this feeling in the air like, is this actually happening? Yes, it is. I stick a fresh note on the windshield. Karen, I wrapped your car for safekeeping. Enjoy your gift. And just like that, I walk away, grinning so hard my face hurts. Next morning, I'm still giggling about it when I get this text from Tina across the street. She never texts unless it's important, so I already know it's about to be good. Her message? You are so dead. Karen just called the HOA office and is losing her mind. They're talking about security cameras and legal action. I almost spit coffee everywhere. The woman who freaks out over garden gnomes now has to explain why her own SUV is the centerpiece of the HOA front walk, wrapped like a birthday present from Satan. By late morning, there's a whole crowd out front, people filming, live streaming, even old Mister Donnelly with his ancient flip phone, just kind of squinting and mumbling about kids these days while filming at a snail's pace. Karen is a full-on spectacle, hair wild, clipboard clutched like a weapon, screeching for someone to find the rule about unlawful automotive wrapping. She spots me in the crowd and zeroes in, laser-focused. You could practically hear the villain music start up, like she's about to challenge me to a duel at high noon. She stomps over, face the color of a tomato that's seen better days, and goes, "What is this?" with a voice so shrill that nearby birds probably migrated out of pure survival instinct. I just point at the wrapped SUV, deadpan, and say, "Oh, that?" I thought it looked lonely, figured I'd brighten its day. She sputters, opens her mouth, closes it, like someone yanked the battery out mid-sentence. I swear for a solid 5 seconds, the world just pauses. Then, as if on cue, she launches into another round of screeching, demanding to know who vandalized her property, running around the SUV like a chicken with its head cut off, peeking under the wheels, flicking at the bows like they're dangerous insects. I can't resist. I sidle up to the big red bow, untie it just a hair, and say, "Careful, it bites." Karen jumps back 3 feet like I just shown her a live snake, and the whole crowd loses it. Laughter echoing down the block. Someone nearly drops their phone from giggling. Of course, the HOA staff are peeking out the windows now, and you can tell nobody in that office has any idea if they should call a meeting, call the police, or just call it a day. And then, right on cue, Karen whips out her phone and dials 911, launching into a frantic tirade about vehicular abduction and neighborly terrorism. I kid you not. You could hear the dispatcher's confusion through the phone. If there was ever a time for the police to roll their eyes, this was it. When the cops showed up, even they couldn't keep a straight face. One officer asked me, "You wrapped a card like a birthday present?" I just shrugged and told him, "Art is subjective, officer." He laughs, shakes his head, and tells Karen she should probably stick to parking in her own driveway. She huffs back into the office, grumbling about insurance and lawsuits, while outside, the crowd start calling the wrapped SUV Karen's kryptonite. Even my dog looks at me with this weird sense of pride, like he knows we've won a great battle. But with someone like Karen, it's never over. The next couple days, my phone is blowing up with neighbors asking for selfies with the gift card, people actually leaving little bows and notes, and kids daring each other to see who can touch it and run away without getting caught by the Karen cam. The HOA newsletter skips right past the incident, but word gets around, and soon enough, the SUV is a full-on legend. One neighbor even tries to start a rumor that the car was a prop for a hidden camera TV show. Honestly, I'd watch that. And Karen? She's not letting it go. Day 3, she storms out again, clipboard in one hand, the fury of 1,000 wrongly issued citations burning in her eyes. She comes right up to me, hisses, "This is unacceptable." Like I'm the one who parked in someone else's garage and started the whole mess. I just smile, tilt my head, and say, "Is it the wrapping or the location that bothers you most?" She short-circuits right there, mouth opening and closing, as if she's trying to reboot her programming. Then, right as she tries to stomp around the car for dramatic effect, her foot snags on a long streamer of ribbon and down she goes. Face first into a pile of crumpled paper right in front of everyone. There's at least 20 people watching at this point. Phones out, some guy commentating like it's a wrestling match. Ooh, and Karen goes down. She gets up, sputtering, tangled in bows and metallic streamers, and the car horn blares beneath all the paper, echoing like a clown car in a horror movie. It's too perfect. I step in, keeping my cool, and say, "Karen, maybe it's just a metaphor. Or maybe it's a warning." The crowd eats it up, shouts of "Make her unwrap it," and "Christmas came early," and the HOA staff are probably inside Googling early retirement. Then, to top it all off, Karen tries to call for backup, except she misdials and ends up connected to the local ice cream shop. She's on hold for 3 solid minutes, standing there surrounded by bows, while the kid on the line asks if she wants extra sprinkles with her meltdown. By now, it's total mayhem. People are narrating like it's the Super Bowl, cars honking as they drive by, Tina yelling "World Star" from her porch. Even Phil, my partner in crime, is doubled over laughing. I figure it's time to make my exit, so I just wave at Karen, give her the kind of smile you save for people who truly, deeply deserve it, and head back inside, leaving her and her rainbow-wrapped ride as a new neighborhood landmark. For the rest of the week, that SUV stays wrapped, Karen stays furious, and everyone else just enjoys the best drama this street's ever seen. She never does get all the tape off, at least not before the next HOA meeting, which, by the way, set a record for attendance. So what's the moral here? Don't park in someone else's garage. Never underestimate a person armed with wrapping paper and a little creativity. And sometimes the best revenge isn't mean, it's just that memorable. It became our legend, a monument to petty mistakes and next-level payback. I'll tell you what, sometimes chaos really is the gift that keeps on giving. So let me throw it to you. What would you have done? Was I wrong for fighting pettiness with pettiness? Or did Karen finally get the present she deserved? Drop your take down in the comments. Share your own neighborhood showdown stories, or just let me know if you want to see a bow-wrapped SUV in your town. If you got a laugh out of this, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell for more, because trust me, there are plenty more justice moments coming your way, and I wouldn't want you to miss a single one.